guys.
Hi.
Oh my goodness. We really doing this.
You're rising stars.
It's okay. It's
Should we
okay.
join the chat in the comments, or that if we want to answer something in writing, right?
If anyone would like to do some deep breaths, do that. Calm your nerves.
Philippa, you're muted.
Oh, apparently I'm muted. Hello, and everybody, and welcome to our Rising Professionals in Cybersecurity for our Cybersecurity Career Day. And I'm going to start with our first question. To begin with, could you talk about your current position and introduce yourself, share where you are in your cybersecurity journey, whether you're currently studying, just starting out in your first job, or transitioning from another field?
Sure, I can start. My name is Yarelis Rivera. I transitioned into cybersecurity after it was a career switch. I was working in leadership in nonprofit, and I am currently just started a new role as a AI assessment program manager, focusing in evaluating risk and safety in AI integrated products. I continue not only training, but also for the continued learning that is important in this field. I love like logging into courses and practicing by doing projects or hands-up labs. And I write on my blog, cyberdata.com. That's what I'm currently doing.
Fantastic. James?
Hi, y'all. My name is James Bates, and I recently acquired my second job in information technology and cybersecurity. My first job in cybersecurity, I was working for a startup company called islandpitch.com, which is a startup company here in Long Beach, California. My current job, I work at Compton Community College as an IT help desk technician. I recently acquired this job and actually had my first week this past week, which was really exciting. It was really fun, and I'm just so grateful to be a part of the team, and I'm also really grateful to be a part of this panel. So yeah.
Fantastic. Bessie?
Amazing.
Hi, my name is Bessie Mullins, and I'm a military spouse. And I'm currently studying to become a Microsoft cybersecurity analyst through the Women in Cloud Cybersecurity Scholarship. And my journey into cybersecurity has been shaped by a combination of certifications. So I started off with my Network Plus from my CAA, and then I joined the Onward to Opportunity program, and I received my Security Plus. And I had a really cool opportunity to do OSINT Academy through Cyber Skills to Work. And I had a wonderful pre-internship that included Philippa as my mentor with Service to Cyber with IQ4, which we studied in this cybersecurity framework. And in September, I will be starting my first apprenticeship as a cyber analyst.
Yay.
Fantastic.
I love that. And yeah, so for full context here, just Irelis and I got to know each other through WESIS, and we were part of a mentor-mentee program through Women in Cybersecurity. And Betsy Mullins and I got to know each other through the mentorship through IQ4, Service to Cyber, for military vets and military spouses. And James, you and Francesca and I met you at Space Tech Expo, where you were working with Uncoded. And Chetan and I met through WESIS, and you were a guest on the podcast that I do, Muse Metrics. You're one of 50 women that I've interviewed through that podcast, Muse Metrics, where I get your carb origin story of how you got your passion in tech and what led you to where you are today, and then your vision, mission, values. So that was amazing to get to know you through that. So that's the context of how we're all here. And I think one of the things I often say is, like, you don't just get the job in cybersecurity, you get into cybersecurity and then get the job. So I think we're going to all talk about that today. And
Yes.
I also have shared roles and have produced this in association with NICE, which is the National Initiative for Cyber Education, and we are both ambassadors with NICE. Irelis, are you as well in the NICE program?
Exactly. Yes, I'm participating in NICE. It's a really great community. It's free for anyone to join. I encourage anyone to do it because you learn from a lot of people in the industry, and that is a great way for you to network and get to know what is happening.
Excellent. And now bringing back that first question, I'm going to say it properly.
It's okay.
Say it properly. Chetan? Chetan.
Yeah.
Chetan. Okay. If I can have you introduce yourself, that would.
Hi, my name is Chetan. I am currently working as a cybersecurity, I'm a global assurance cybersecurity analyst that I primarily work within vulnerability management. I am a career changer. I started in telecommunications and I shifted when I got my degree, my bachelor's degree in cybersecurity technology in December of 2023. I was fortunate enough to get an internship before I graduated that primarily focused on threat intelligence, which helped me go into vulnerability management, and then also what I'm risk management, and then what I do now.
Fantastic. Okay, I turn it to Francesca.
Yeah, we had another question now prepared for you because you are the younger generation that is entering cybersecurity. And we wanted to ask you, what first sparked your interest in cybersecurity and what helped you decide to that first step into that field?
Anybody want to go first?
Ladies first.
Okay, I'll go. It's really funny because I am a Criminal Minds fan. So when I seen Penelope Garcia and the way she does her job and the way that her tech skills help solve cases, I was always interested in saying that I want to do that. So I worked in pork manufacturing for 4 years. And when I was working there, I realized, like, this isn't for me. Like, this is where I do not want to end up at. And when my husband went active duty, we came here to Fort Carson, and I realized all these opportunities for cybersecurity were opened up for me, and I could finally pursue the dream that I always had. And I wanted to find a career that I love. I didn't want to work just to work. I want to work doing something that I love every day. And when I took my Security Plus, that's when it clicked for me. And I was like, this is where I want to be. And ever since then, I've been doing little stepping stones to go towards that goal. And it got me my apprenticeship. And I'm actually going to school again to be a certified cybersecurity technician through the EC Council.
Amazing. Chetan, can I turn it to you? Oh, wait, hold on. I've muted you. I'm sorry. I was trying to get rid of back in it. Okay, go ahead.
Yes. So what sparked my interest in getting into cybersecurity was actually just being with my dad. I've always had a computer since we were younger. And so I took advantage of just kind of being on the computer, seeing what it can do. Now, I never got deep into the hardware stuff, but just kind of messing around with it, playing in different aspects of the actual computer itself kind of made me more interested in it. And then as technology has evolved, it made me think of like, how can I be an asset to technology and help protect, safeguard people's information. So it piqued my interest even more. And I said, hey, I'm going to go to school and see where I can go within cybersecurity.
Amazing. I love that.
I have a question from the audience, though. I heard that you guys shifted your field into cyber. What are common mistakes beginners make in cybersecurity, and how can I avoid them? Yeah, please go ahead, James.
You know, failure is giving up. So if you want to avoid mistakes, then don't give up.
For me, I would like to add that when you are switching careers, I think you are very nervous because you don't know like how can I leverage what I know for a new field. And I think like anyone that is interested in cybersecurity can bring their transferable skills for this field. Cybersecurity is a field that needs a variety and diversity of perspective. So I think that is very important to believe that you can do it. You have to put effort because there's a lot to study and a lot to learn, and you might have to sacrifice many things, but just start looking for what are you interested. The field is massive, so there's many things to do. So just start focusing in, okay, maybe I like this. And for you to understand what do you like, you have to start exploring. So go out there and check free resources, and focus on that, because one of the mistakes that we can do is just spread so much, and then we are like, oh my god, I like this, oh my god, I like this. And it is great to like many things, but if you want to focus, you can then say like, okay, I would like to focus in cloud security, then go for it.
Mm-hmm.
I would also piggyback off of that, not realizing that the skills that you had in a previous job are completely transferable into cybersecurity. So don't doubt yourself when it comes to the skills you already have. And when you're looking into the career that you would like to go into, you can even look at what are the best skills that that job has, so that it can make sure that you're able to pinpoint exactly what you like about it, and if that is the actual area of focus that you want to go into. I would also say, don't think you need to know everything. Cybersecurity is such a broad field that you may think you're consuming so much information. It's okay if you don't know everything. And it's also okay if you're in rooms where people know more than you, because you can absorb and learn more as well. And also don't be afraid to, I think a lot of people coming into this field, they don't want to appear like they don't know what they're saying or referencing, right? So you may be afraid to ask questions or reach out to somebody. And I would say, don't be afraid to ask questions. Just and don't doubt yourself. Just keep going and put your best foot forward.
Yes. Networking is one of the biggest things that I learned that you have to do. Because I wasn't a person, the type to reach out to people. But when I started doing these classes and everything, I got to know my mentors. Philippa can tell you, I messaged her a ton about everything. And I stopped being scared because there are no stupid questions. You can learn so much from somebody else's journey, even though that's not your journey, because we're all going different places. We're all starting at different parts. And we see these videos where they say, here's the roadmap. But the thing is, a roadmap is so big. My path and your path are two different things. And what's for me is for me, and what's for you is for you. And how you approach it is on you. And you got to approach it with confidence. No matter what you do, approach everything that you do with complete confidence. Even if you're scared, learn that information, go in that room and be the person that you're meant to be. Because if you're in that room already, you're meant to be there. So don't pretend any other way that it's not your place. It is your place.
Absolutely. All right, well, we can kind of go off of other other questions about how, and it's kind of, I think, to jump off the confidence question of how do you find opportunities when facing barriers like citizenship or eligibility restrictions?
For my case, I had a lot of no's. I would not lie to you. I had a lot of no's. Like I applied to so many programs, and because I didn't have a degree, I will always get that rejection letter. And honestly, there's one time that it came within 5 minutes of my application, and it hurt my feelings. But I started looking at why I'm getting these no's, and I started putting myself out there. I recently did the DoD Cyber Centennial Challenge, and coming in, I wasn't really confident, but I ended up placing 735 out of 2,155 people. And out of that, I actually end up getting chosen to talk to a recruiter for the US Air Force. And when I also applied for my apprenticeship, I kind of felt that, maybe maybe it's not my time. But when I went into my interview and I explained all the things that I worked on, my leadership skills, my technical skills, everything ended up working out for me in the end. You just have to keep trying. Don't give up because you're going to get 1,000 no's, but that one yes is what really makes a difference in your life. Wait for your yes.
Yes. I want to acknowledge that the current market, it is demoralizing sometimes when you're applying, as Bessie said, you're applying and you're receiving a lot of no's. It's really hard. It's really hard on you. It's really hard on your confidence. You might think like, oh, what is happening? Like maybe I need to learn another thing. But the reality is the market is tough. And one thing to break through those barriers is networking. Networking helps a lot, like getting into connecting with people, attending to events. And when I'm saying events, I'm not talking even paid events. There are ton of resources and events that you can find on Eventbrite or Facebook or wherever you can see events that you can attend and start reaching out to folks. There are many people willing to help others, and despite the market and how tough it is, I'm not saying necessarily you are going to find right away a job, but people will have you in their minds. That one of the things that helped me to know about an opportunity, the job that I just found, that it was someone that say, "Hey, I saw this job and remind me of you," and they sent me the link for a job that I'm now applying. So those opportunities happen. So that is an opportunity for you. Attend, network, connection.
I want to piggyback off of what you said too. Eurelis, right? That's how you say your first name? Eurelis?
Yes.
Yes, I want to piggyback off of that when it comes to networking. Yes, and I would say network as much as you possibly can, because if I'm looking at my experience, I went to the WESIS conference for the first time when I was in school, and I didn't necessarily meet someone at the actual conference, but I met someone a part of WESIS at the airport. And I just started to talk to her and tell her my experience and what I was going to school for. And that actually prompted her to go back to her boss to initiate a internship program, right? Which is how I ended up getting the internship in threat intelligence. So it's like, don't be afraid to network and reach out to people and talk to them, because you never know who you may run into. And also like who is watching you, who is seeing you speak, who sees you have that level of confidence. Even if you're scared, still show that confidence, still show that initiative, that grit, right? I would also say too, like, don't be afraid to, when you're even on LinkedIn and you're searching for jobs, don't be afraid to reach out to the recruiters, even the CISOs, right? That's how I ended up getting the job that I'm in now. I reached out to the actual CISO in my cybersecurity department, and I just said, hey, I applied for this position. Can you give me any pointers on how I can better stand out as a candidate for this particular position, or what can make me, better for this job? And, that tenacity and grit that I actually had to go and do that prompted my CISO to go and actually send my resume to the hiring manager. So it's just don't be afraid to do that. Don't think that you don't have the capabilities, or that oh, they're never going to answer, because you never know, right? So just, I would say, don't be afraid to reach out, network, and put yourself out there.
James.
Long Beach Workers Innovation Network. Long Beach Workers Innovation Network helps folks who have citizenship issues, right? And not only that, but they have career specialists who will help you. So if you wanted to get into a career in cybersecurity, but let's say you're struggling with eligibility requirements, such as you don't have certifications that would help with your resume and help you stand out, then they will help you find a way to finance, fund, and get the education. And to add to that, because Long Beach Workers Innovation Network is really dedicated to helping the citizens of Long Beach find work in the city of Long Beach. I use them for mentorship and guidance for jobs. And had it not been for my career specialist, Christopher Akazuki, shout out to you, then I don't think I would have been able to land the position that I have, because mock interviews, just the human component is really vital in any job you do. Yes, technical prowess and technical being able to speak the technical language is important, and so is being a human being.
Thank you so much, James. We have another question from the audience. Is programming skills important? What was your experience when you were starting?
Yeah, I can say something about it. When before I started this career, I thought that I needed to know how to program. So I joined a bootcamp, and it was great for me because I started learning about web development, but also Python as well. The reality is that will depend in the job that you are doing in cybersecurity. So in cybersecurity right now, there are opportunities that not necessarily are too technical. However, if you know how to program, I'm not saying you have to be an expert coder or programmer, but if you at least understand the basics, I think that's a great thing to showcase, and good for your resume, and also for the conversations that you potentially are going to have with the different people in your team. However, it's not that it's a must. It's always great skills to have.
And there's a follow-on question on that: is what programming language is used mostly, if any? James.
So my understanding of the information technology space is there are four career pathways: IT support specialist, network support specialist, cybersecurity specialist, software and web developer. Me personally, as a cybersecurity enthusiast, programming is a side quest. And if anything, I would say understanding the syntax of the terminals, the command lines, those black boxes, and knowing those commands, you'll have a lot more. If you're if you want to focus on cybersecurity, getting to know the little black box is more important. But programming is a good skill to have. Again, it's a good side quest. You know, it's almost like that side quest that you take in a video game that gets you those stats that you need, so that when you fight the boss, it's a lot easier. You know, or it's a conversation topic. Look, oh, by the way, I like to play with Python and make Python scripts, or anything like that. But I would, again, just to reiterate, syntax and understanding the black boxes are more important than knowing a programming language in cybersecurity.
Shadon, do you have something to add to that? And like in your role, where's programming kind of intersect with what you're doing? Oh,
In my current role, I actually am not doing anything program related. But what I will say is that for myself, I haven't needed that thus far. Not saying that I won't go into doing anything program related, but that's not something I'm utilizing at the time.
which I think is wonderful, just to add to that, because it really showcases that you can have a professional role in cybersecurity and that it's not essential. I think sometimes people just say, oh, that's the only path in. I have to be an expert coder. I will never get that interview. I'll never get that opportunity. So I think it's actually wonderful to hear that you're like, no, I have a full career and that's not part of my role.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I mean, I would even say too, like, I'm not saying anyone should not go get like certifications or anything like that, because those are definitely essential. However, that was not my path, right? I just have my degree, my bachelor's degree in cybersecurity technology. But I know that some people may think like you need a bunch of certifications to get your foot in the door. But you can have a degree and still succeed in this field.
fantastic. And then if I could lead you into sort of a follow-up question on that from someone else in our chat, how long did it actually take from the time you became interested in cyber and started your journey to landing that first role? Now, I remember from talking to you and also a little bit of what you just said, you've been into computers since you were, you grew up that way. You grew up with an interest in. So obviously, it's a whole lifetime. But from the time you decided to professionally say, this is my path, what was the timing from, say, even perhaps graduation to landing that first role?
So for me, I actually was, I think I was in my bachelor's, at the end of my bachelor's degree. I started it in 2020, but I got my bachelor's degree in 2023. So I want to say at the beginning of 2023, around April, is when I was able to, I attended that conference. And then in May is when I actually got into the internship in my first role. And then once the internship ended, I was actually hired on full time. So I hadn't even graduated yet before I got an acceptance into a cybersecurity position. So I want to say then I was in that cybersecurity position for about a year and a half. And then I transitioned into the role that I'm in now. So right now, fully, I've been in the role or cybersecurity for about 2 years, maybe 2 years and a month. So I'm fairly new to the actual field, right? But it didn't take me, from my experience, long to get into the field. Like probably 3 years of schooling, and then I was still in school when I got my foot in the door.
Fantastic. And I actually ask Eurelis, can you speak to that? Because I've known you sort of through this mentorship program, and I know you were sort of in the job seeking mode, but also training. You did the SAN program, and you've been just very committed in your journey. Can you sort of speak to kind of how long from when you decided you wanted to be in cyber to landing that role?
Sure. As you said, I am one of the recipients of the SAN Cyber Academy program, which I encourage anyone to apply because it's a fantastic program. They train you very well. and at the end you end up with 3 certifications. Of course, you have to prepare well for each of the certifications, but what you learn, it is amazing, because they teach you not only the theory and the foundational, but also you learn a lot of skills, especially Linux. I knew Linux before entering Sans Cyber, but it was very basic. And after Sans Cyber, I was impressed of how much I learned in that time. It was 9 months of each. They give you like 3 months for each preparation for each certification. So at the end of 9 months, you realize how much you learn in this space. So for me, aside from the SANS, before entering SANS, I used to take, for example, sporadically courses, for example, in Codecademy, and also the Google Cybersecurity, which I recommend also anyone to start putting your foot in. Like there are ton of free resources out there. You actually don't have to start paying for courses. There are many good courses for free. And as I said, opportunities like this, the one in SANS, are transformative. At least for me, it was. I don't have a background in cybersecurity. My background was journalism and psychology, and my previous experiences were on that. One thing that drew me to cybersecurity and the transferable skill that I brought to the field, it was my I have this investigative mindset. I love learning, and I also enjoy tech since since I was a teenager. I was interested in tech, so I merged and combined all of that to put into my studies for cybersecurity.
Fantastic.
Okay, cool.
Well, I love that question, first of all, because mine was a short stint. I literally started last year in July. I got my CC from ISC squared. And that was just like, seeing if I really wanted to go this route. So within a year, I managed to get, my network plus, my security plus, my open source certification. And I had an interview in March for an apprenticeship program. And next thing you know, April came, and now I have one starting in September. My journey was quick. It was quicker than I expected because I talked to so many people who had way longer journeys than I did. But for me, I didn't take no as an answer. I found the CEOs of the companies I was looking at. I found people that work there. I asked the people that are involved with the selection process, like, what are you looking for? How can I be more applicable? What else can I do to make myself be the person that you need me to be? And they was like, just work on this and work on that. And when I took those chances and I listened to their advice and I came back for the interview and I was prepared. And when you have these interviews, make sure they know who you are. Like I got to know the person that I was interviewing by their LinkedIn, by their information. I looked up their stats, I looked up their job. I got to know them. So when I came into the interview, I found a way to connect with my interviewer, which made the process so much easier because it didn't feel like an interview. It felt like a good conversation. And a lot of times we get scared because they're in that position and we're in this position. But when you get to know that person and you go into there and you go in there with a confident mind, sound, and body, nothing can stop you. Literally, nothing can stop you. Because when I ended the interview, I was like, I'll be waiting on my acceptance and I will be accepting it. And we just laughed. But at the end, that was it. Literally a year, less than a year. It's possible.
Thank you so much. We have another question from the audience. What are some of the biggest challenges you faced when first entering the field? Who would like to answer that?
Lack of experience.
Okay.
Lack of experience was the biggest thing because you can know the information, but if you haven't really tried to be hands on with the information, it's kind of pointless. So what I did is I used like hack the box, let's defend and stuff like that to learn the skills that I'm working on. So when I did my Security Plus, I used the labs a lot. I was a big lab person. I really went through my labs. I wrote down how to do it, the process of it, where was I going wrong with it. I really deep dive into that because sometimes you're going to get an interview and they may ask you technical questions. And yes, you know what the process is, but they want to know what the process is. Like, how can I do it from point A to point B? And labs and hands-on experience were the best thing that you can get for yourself. Don't just learn to learn, but learn to be whole at what you're learning.
Amazing. Thank you. James, you want to answer that question too?
Yes, my biggest challenge. My biggest challenge was the CompTIA Cloud Plus certification exam. When I finished my schooling, I was able to maintain a tempo of one IT certification test a month. So to get the A plus, Network Plus, and Security Plus, I managed to pull that off in 4 months. The Cloud Plus is an advanced level network support specialist certification. And I figured, with the way that I was studying, it was enough. When I took the test the first time, I failed it. Right? And that was hard. That was hard. But I had to reassess my processes, and I had to study in a way that I never studied before. Honestly, I studied to the point so hard that I threw up a couple of times. And when it came time to take the test, which I took it in May of 2024, I passed it, and it was actually my second highest scoring test. My first highest score was actually the Security Plus. So that was the biggest challenge.
Okay, and we have another question on that. How much has a referral helped versus cold applying? Would anyone like to take that question?
My referrals helped me find programs like Microsoft Women in Cloud. That was actually a referral off of somebody off my LinkedIn. So that is a great community. Even if you are a man or a woman, you can join Women in Cloud. It is an inclusive community, and there are so many resources and so many people that you can meet, talk to. If you haven't joined, join it. That was a referral off LinkedIn. And I think my apprenticeship was also a referral, if I'm not mistaken, from somebody on my page. I follow this woman on LinkedIn, and she just shares like different opportunities. And every opportunity that I've seen and I applied for, I found on LinkedIn.
Do you follow any cybersecurity professionals or communities online?
Is that for me, or is it Bessie?
Is it for me?
Could be anyone.
Oh. Can you repeat the question? I'm sorry.
Sure. The question is, do you follow any cybersecurity professionals or communities online?
Yes, I feel like I follow a number of cybersecurity professionals online, but I also the communities. I'm actually a part of Women in Cloud too. And then I also am a part of WISAs, which is Women in Cybersecurity. Those are really good communities to be a part of, especially I'm more involved in WISAs. If you're looking for a community of women and that are within the field and you want to get into programs, or even I've been a part of their mentor program. I've been a part of me and Philippa, that's how we met. We did the ISC squared cybersecurity. What was it, Philippa?
Oh, we did the boot camp. That's where I knew you from.
Camp.
I was trying to figure out. I was trying to figure out our initial connection, and that's right. We were
Yeah.
in the ISC squared CC.
Yeah,
And
we
so,
did the boot. Yeah, we did the boot camp together, and then and then I did their Google certificate program through their organization too. They even had options to do speaker spotlight programs that I was a part of too, to get better at public speaking. So it just all depends on what your interests are, and just look into those particular communities to see which ones you know can help you on whatever journey or path you're trying to go down within cybersecurity.
I can also answer there. I follow a ton of people in cybersecurity on Twitter, and that is Twitter is a good community, especially for cybersecurity, to not only learn about resources but also to get to know news or people sharing about vulnerabilities or things that they are seeing that they are working on. So it's really great to follow specific people. I don't remember all by name, but I do remember some names. So, for example, John Hammond, Network Shock is also really good. They have John Hammond also shares in YouTube. Network Shock, especially he shares a lot of content in networking, which is really important and crucial in cybersecurity. The other person that I follow is not specifically about cybersecurity, but about resources, and you can find it in Twitter. Potentially, some of you know her is Tenika Askew, and she shares a lot of resources, different things, data analytics and AI, cybersecurity, etc. Is really great to follow. About communities, for example, on Discord or Slack, I follow Learn Prompting. There's also a website if you're interested in AI and knowing how to prompt and AI security. Learn Prompting is great. I am part also of Women in Cloud as Bessie and Shaitan. So I also recommend joining. You can just go online, put Women in Cloud, and even though it says Women in Cloud is for anyone, so you can join in. You don't have to identify yourself as a woman. And Raíces Cyber is the last thing that I wanted to share. I am part of Raíces Cyber. As a volunteer, and Raíces Cyber is fantastic they share resources, and they have a Discord, they have also on LinkedIn, and you can see all the resources that they share or opportunities like this to have webinars and learn from professionals.
yeah, go for it.
No, I saw James. He had his hand up first. I'll
Oh,
talk
okay.
after. Oh no. Ulysses, can you say your name one more time? I'm sorry.
Yarelis?
Yeah, ladies. You said John Strand? Did you say John Strand too?
John Hammond.
Oh, okay. Because there's a community that I wanted to bring up that somebody that I worked with told me about. It was with John Strand, because I saw someone mention like SANS programs. I believe he was a part of SANS at some point, and he offers programs like hands-on skilled programs that you can do, where and it all goes based off of what you can pay, essentially, right? But these are really, really good. Like I said, like if you want to learn about SOC, if you want to learn about, because I'm looking at it right now, pretty much anything I don't want to say everything, but pretty much anything that you could think about, he can help you with the hands-on skills. Is it okay if I drop the link in here?
Absolutely. Wonderful. Yeah. And we
okay.
also have a resource page for everybody. So yeah, drop the link in there. We'll also make sure we add it to our general resource page, which is accessible from the Luma link for everybody.
Okay.
Also in the chat. And actually that brings us to one of our prepared questions, which is just kind of if we can do kind of a little bit of a lightning round of just the learning experiences, the classes, the boot camps, the hands-on labs, the certifications, community events that helped you gain confidence and build those skills. And so just, yeah, if you can just do a round, we can do a round of just kind of just, we've covered a lot, but if there's anything else you want to add to those, your favorite tools, resources, courses, events, hackathons, aka capture the flags.
Yes, please, James.
Okay, to answer the question, so here are the YouTube channels that I follow. Professor Messer, Network Chuck, like Yarelis had mentioned, Darknet Diaries, and also Soft White Underbelly's Gummo interviews.
Yeah.
Also, entertainment media, Mr. Robot, Pirates of Silicon Valley, Westworld, Serial Experiments Lane, Halt and Catch Fire, Devs, Minority Report, Ghost in the Shell. Music, Health, Pastel Ghost, Nujabes, Mount Eden Dubstep, Yeji with Sequence / Consequencia, Automate Archaic, and Periphery. Books, Neuromancer, Brave New World, 1984, Confessions of an Economic Hitman, Man's Search for Meaning. My recommendation is this: look at it, who's your left, and at your right, and at your six. An excellent life requires superior moral conduct. Your new life will cost you your old one. Discipline is freedom, and keep it sunny, little bunny.
Nice.
Well, for the military spouse side, use your MyCAA, look into cyber skills to work, look into service to cyber, pre-internship, and onward to opportunity. They pay for one certification, but you have access to the training resources for a year. And if you want to get another certification outside of the one that they pay for, they will also give you a discount on the ones you take after that. So that is a bunch of money just out there.
Fantastic. All you. Sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say I would also recommend the ISC squared CC certification as well, because I believe they're still doing the trying to do 1 million people for free. I believe that's how we got into it. They're still trying to do the 1 million people for free to get like the beginners information centered around cybersecurity. So you can join that, and it is free. You do have to pass, I believe, right? Philippa, you do have to pass, and then it'll be free, but then you pay $50, I believe, for the actual certification, right?
I think
Is that right?
I remember it was the renewal that's going to cost us $50. So if you think about their math, they're going to do just fine in the future. But we do have to, and I actually need to circle back to it. There's minimum requirements to maintain the certification when you want to renew it, and then it'll be 50. But everything up until now for me has, and I think for you, has been completely free with our WESIS membership.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I would like to add that Microsoft Cybersecurity Analyst, the certification, they still have openings. I believe last week I received an email for them telling that they still have like maybe 1,000 openings yet. So anyone's looking into that can go to Women in Cloud, which is part of the Microsoft ecosystem, and or search for Microsoft Cybersecurity Analyst and apply just to see if you can get that. It is great. You're going to learn a lot about Microsoft in general, but the foundational cybersecurity they are including AI as well. For the Google cybersecurity, it's through you get it through Coursera. They have it there. If you're looking to explore, Coursera offers like a 7-day trial. That's what I did maybe like 2 years ago. I started the 7-day trial and just to see how was the course, etc. And then they estimate it's 6 months, but that really depends on the time that you have to put. There are people that finish that in a month. So that's there. The other thing is the importance of participating in Capture the Flags, just for you not only to network but to learn about the tools and the skills that not only that are needed, but to learn from what hackers are doing, right? To learn about the threat actors and what are the things that are possible. One of the coolest CTFs that I participated lately, one it is Hack a Prompt. This one is specifically about AI security, and I had fun. They still open because they are now putting like challenges once in a while. So you can go to hackaprompt.com and you can see it. Or if you go through Learn Prompting, you are going to see the announcement of Hackaprompt. They have this cool thing that is like they call it their AI security wordle. It is like a challenge every day, and you have to try to bypass a filter from a chatbot. Pretty much like, the chatbot cannot say a word, and you made that chatbot say it. The other thing is SANS Academy, SANS in general, the organizations, they have every year, Capture the Flag is in December. It's called Holiday Hackathon. It is absolutely fun. It is challenging, but you're going to learn a lot from the community and also from the challenge itself. Even though if you participate in a capture the flag, and if you can only solve one, that is okay. That is part of the journey. Like, don't get discouraged because you get into a CTF and you feel yourself stuck. That is part of the process, getting stuck. You have to remember that, like, if you're a baby, when you're learning something new, right? Like when you're a baby, you don't know how to walk. You start like, trying to, like, you're like pushing yourself up to the point that you are walking. So that's how you approach like a learning. CTF, expose yourself to that, and they are really fun ways to learn. Aside from Holiday Hack, there is Sentinel. For that one is, I'm assuming they're going to have another one next year. This year was in June. The previous year was in May. So I don't know yet when it's going to be happening next year, but be in the lookout for that one. They I think it's this year was 6,000 people participating. You have to apply for it, but it is fun to get there. And that one, particularly Cyber Sentinel, they connect you, especially if you're interested to work in the federal roles or military. They connect you with, because it's part of DoD, Department of Defense. It's really cool to learn.
I think both Bessie and I did that this year. I did it last year. It was so fun. And Bessie, you
Yeah,
got
it was fun.
I was
fun, yeah.
in the. I think I just at 800. I think you were in the 700s.
Yeah, 735, baby.
All right.
Great.
I was 805.
I was 6:30 at something. I don't remember. 6:30 something.
It was fun
32.
though. If y'all can do
It
it,
was.
do it. Like, it was the most funnest 8 hours of a headache that you can ever have. It is worth it. Just try it.
Yeah.
Amazing. Thank you, everyone. We are coming to an end now. Do we have time for one last question, or what do you think, Philippa?
Yeah, let's round it out. Francesca, I leave it to you.
Okay. Another question from the audience is: this is crucial, and AI can help you learn about your interviewer and org. Or how does AI play into your job search in general?
You can utilize AI to advantage.
Mhm.
Like your resume, if you put in the job description and then put in your resume,
Mhm.
that can help you tailor your resume to the job. Now, granted, don't copy the whole thing from AI,
Mhm.
but use the point that it's giving you and the tips that it's giving you. And also, you can use AI to search the organization, like search things like, your organization name, search their mission statement, look up their salaries, like look up everything you kind of need for the interview and put it into AI. And it can give you a summary of what you're looking for to make sure that's something that you want to do. It could kind of narrow down your search.
One recommendation that I would like to add, aside from for your resume, is like having a document with not only your work experience but general information. For example, projects that you have worked, your studies, etc., and then ground that AI with that document. Right, like you upload that document with your information, and it will better tailor your resume, or also understand better, what you want to focus on. For me, AI, I have used it as well when practicing for interviews, especially the voice capability of, let's say, ChatGPT. So you can start a voice and you say, hey, I want to practice potential interview questions for this particular job, and they will, they generate, and they will ask you, and you can give instruction like, wait, generate questions, and then, ask me one, wait for my response, give me feedback, how could I respond this better. And that helped me a lot, especially for my preparation. That helped me a lot to be more fluent, especially if you are not, my first language is not English, my first language is Spanish.
Yeah.
So for me to practice and be more fluent, that has helped me a lot. And it's free. Of course, ChatGPT, if you're using the free version, I think you have maybe like 40 minutes or something about when it's voice activated. But hey, 4 minutes is great to practice. So you can do that one time, one thing at a time. I think AI is here for us to augment our opportunities, not to replace us, just to augment our capabilities and opportunities. And we have to embrace it and use it to our benefit and our advance, especially in the development
Thank
of
you so
our
much,
careers.
everyone. Thank you for your answers and questions and for being here. Please follow us into the next StreamYard about Cybersecurity Begins With You, a journey to executive leadership. Thank you
Yes,
so
so
much.
thank you to our speakers.
Thank
and we'll
you.
see you all next time.
Thank you.
Everyone.
Bye.
Thank you so
Bye.
much. Bye.
Bye.